So today I want to talk to you about something that's not so pleasant, but it's necessary. Something that I think that all women we go through and we suffer from because of unrealistic expectations. And to be honest, at some point, especially me, I remember all through my late teens, early 20s, I just went through this, just asking myself this question like, am I ever going to be thin? Am I always going to feel this way about myself? Am I ever going to look like that? So without further ado, let's get into the video. Welcome back again, Blank Dieters. Thank you so much for your support. I welcome you all, my subscribers. I thank you so much for your support. Sharing my video, liking my video, leaving comments, liking, all that good stuff. Subscribing. You have made my day. Every time I see that I have one new subscriber, I am so psyched, guys. Do people still say psyched? I mean, I am beyond happy. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. And if you are a first time visitor, do me a favor, okay? Click the subscribe button down below. Click the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video, and now you are part of the family. Remember, share with your family and friends. They need to hear this. All right, so like I mentioned when I started the video, I want to talk to you today about just the expectation and the thought that often comes into our minds as women, as people, overweight, whether you have an overweight past or not. Like for me, I spent most of my 20s, let me say late teens and my 20s, just wondering, will I ever look like that? Like looking at these pictures of these celebrities and these Instagram models. Hold up. Looking at Instagram models and these people with seemingly perfect bodies, and I'm just wondering, oh my God, am I ever going to look like that? And I don't even know why I wanted to look like that, because to be honest, even now, my husband always tells me, I like the way you are. Don't even, you know, but for health reasons, now that I am, mature and I've learned to love myself, I just want to get down to a healthy weight that my doctor told me is good for my BMI. So, yeah, I don't think that's so much now, but I remember just early 20s, mid 20s, late teens thinking, oh my God, am I ever going to look like that? And let's discuss that today. Maybe you're having the same thought and you're thinking, I want to look like this person. I want to be this thin. Am I ever going to be that thin? Let's talk real. I want to talk to you today without any unrealistic expectations, without me trying to get you to like my video or whatever. To be honest, we are all made differently. Like I always used to wonder, like, why is she thin only in my 20s? Because growing up, I actually had a little complex because I was the thin one. I remember talking to my sister yesterday and I was telling her, remember growing up, they used to call you the healthy one, and I would be called the thin one. So it would be the healthy one, the thin one, because she would eat anything. She loved veggies. I didn't like food. I didn't like anything. Unless if it was like chips or ice cream, but I didn't like food. So I was thin growing up, and I still had that kind of just, skinny little girl, even though when I was older, I did pick up some weight. So when I picked up the weight, I wanted to fill out a little bit. And then I think after my mid 20s, I kind of just, you know, my metabolism changed and also my lifestyle changed. I wasn't walking as much. I'm done with schooling as far as like, the walking around and whatever, that type of schooling. So I was not moving around as much. I was now driving everywhere, and it was just a different kind of lifestyle. And my body was now starting to, hold on to a little bit more fat. So now I changed from the girl who's like, I want to put on weight to, am I ever going to be thin again? Or is this my life now? And like I said, now I've managed to deal with that. I'm doing this because I want to be healthy, because my doctor told me, because every day it's like my husband is constantly hinting, don't lose weight, don't lose weight, don't lose weight. But at the same time, I want to feel healthy. So I got to find like a middle ground. So anyway, I digress. You always wonder, like, do I have to work this hard to be, why do I have to work this hard to be this fat and I know people don't like that word, but come on. Okay, we're talking to each other here. Let's not, be too sensitive, just PC and all that. Why am I this fat when I eat less than that person? Like, I've had people who come into my environment and they eat like crazy portions. They eat throughout the day. Like, I remember I had a cousin. He was, of course, a guy, but he would eat. That guy could eat, and he was thin as a broomstick. Sometimes it's just the way people are built, their genetic makeup, the way they are. Like for me, I'll tell you something. It's not weight related, but my teeth, not to brag, but honestly, I have the best teeth ever. I've never had a cavity, not because I have the best brushing regimen or I'm this, and I do that. No, it's just genetically, it's just not, And then there are some people who do follow that. They brush their teeth after their every meal. They floss, they do all that good stuff, but they've had 2-3 cavities. So for me, naturally, genetically, I don't really have to put much effort. My hair, I know I, use weave and extensions and stuff like that. But if I were to show you my real hair, it's quite long and it's very thick and it's very dark, like black. I don't put much effort into it. To be honest with you, I don't put much effort. I just do what I want to do. Sometimes I forget to oil it. Sometimes I forget to, just take care of it the way it's supposed to be taken care of. And it grows back, So one of these days I'm gonna have to come out and show you. I do have a lot of hair under there. But when it comes to weight, I have to put in a little bit extra effort, because I do know a lot of people who don't do that. They eat whatever they want, however they want, and they just don't gain that much weight. So to be honest with you, because of genetics, there are some things that I know you want to swap out and say, I wish I was like that person, but I'm sure they have some stuff that you don't want to deal with. So what I am telling you now is to embrace who you are, what you are, because whatever you have, whatever advantage somebody has compared to you, you probably have an advantage in another aspect of your life compared to that person. Okay, so getting into the real now, you can be that thin. It's just going to take a lot more effort for you because it doesn't come naturally. Like for me, there was a time when I did put in the effort and I did get, thin, so to speak, to a point where I was in the same league with those people. But it took me a little extra effort. I had to count my calories. I had to really watch what I ate. I really had to make sure I controlled my portions and all that. So, which brings me to another, I don't know if you heard about this, something that, I love Jillian Michaels. I'm just talking about this. I'm not saying she was wrong or whatever. She was asked about Lizzo. What do you think about her embracing herself being overweight and just, bring about body positivity? And this is what Jillian Michaels said. She said, I like celebrating her for her music, but I don't know why we're celebrating her body. Like, why? Because she's overweight and she's obese. Why are we celebrating that? And she got a lot of heat from people. But I think it's just because, Lizzo happened to be the example in that case. But what she was saying was not entirely wrong. So even though it doesn't come naturally for you to be thin, or, you could just eat one chocolate bar today and tomorrow you gain 2 pounds. Like, are you there? Are you there, sisters? Are you there? Are you there? Okay, I'm one of those people. Like, I'm like, I didn't even eat that much. How did I, But you still got to realize that whether that's your natural response, your body's natural response and you don't shed weight that fast, it doesn't mean that you have to live with it. It doesn't mean that you have to accept and say, whatever, I'm just going to be overweight. No, you have to love yourself that much and say, I don't want this. It doesn't come naturally to me, but let me do it. Just like me, like I told you the example, does that mean that people who are more susceptible to like cavities and stuff like that have to just say, oh well, you know, I'm doomed if I do, I'm doomed if I don't? No, they should put in the extra effort to make sure that they take care of their teeth more than I do. Even though I do take care of my teeth, I brush twice. I try twice a day or after every meal, especially now that I'm on a diet. But if I'm not in a position to do that, I make sure at least in the morning and at night before I go to sleep. So yeah, I digress again. What I'm trying to say is there are many reasons why you react a certain way to food, why you put on weight faster than other people. But that still doesn't mean that it cannot be done. It doesn't mean that you cannot control your body. You cannot control your weight. It just takes a little bit more effort. And it took me a long time for me to understand that, because I used to just be all like down on myself and just be like, what's wrong with me? Why is it this person who's my age, some people who are older, they eat even more than me, but when I look at them, they have thinner thighs, you know, they could fit into a nice little pencil skirt, and, you know, I can't do that. I literally have to be like, do you have this size? Especially for me, because it's so difficult, because you hip to waist and whatever, you have to always just put in extra effort. But unfortunately or fortunately, you have to learn to love yourself and learn yourself and say, okay, let me put my mind to it. For me, I realized that whatever I put my mind to is exactly what I get. Just 2 years ago, I had a baby in the middle of the semester, but I still managed to write my exams, and I came out top of my class, guys. Top of my class. Why? Because I put my mind to it. So if I use that same, philosophy, the same thought process, and say, hey, it doesn't come naturally for me to just be thin, but I have to put in the work. I have to learn my body and do what my body needs for me to get these results. So anyway, guys, if you're feeling that way, I just thought I would encourage you today. It's within your power. You just have to have the right tools, the right mindset, the right motivation, the right people around you. So you learn yourself, you learn your body, and you understand, like, okay, it's not like there's something wrong with me. It's just that I'm built a certain way and I have to learn my body. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you today. Just in case you've been wondering, okay, am I ever going to be thin? The answer is yes, if you put your mind to it. Because the good thing is, it's a science, okay? The law of thermodynamics, it's a science. The law of thermodynamics. If you learn your body, if you learn exactly what you need to burn and what you need to eat, you can master that. You can master your body. That's what I wanted to share with you today, Blank Dieters. Love.